on the next episode of The Walking Dead.
We are far from the enemy. The fear will subside. It's time that the pack returns.
Hey guys, Kiwi here. In this video, I'll be breaking down discussing the new promo trailer for Season 10, Episode 2 of The Walking Dead. With that being said, warning of spoilers for everything in the show up to the Season 10 premiere, and let's jump right into this. So, is it just me, or are we actually only seeing clips from the Whispers next episode? Will we really get a bottle episode completely dedicated towards seeing what the Whispers have been up to the past few months? There's also a bunch of promo images released for the episode that we'll get into in just a second, but it seems to imply that a lot of the episode will be involved around flashbacks with the Whispers. So maybe having flashbacks and then showing them in the current timeline, just kind of going back and forth, maybe that'll make the episode a bit more interesting. I'm not too sure if I want the episode to be entirely flashbacks or what, but at least it'll be cool to kind of see the Whisper origin story here, because we wanted this with Negan and we only really got it in little bits and pieces, but it seems like they're going all out, giving the Whispers even more backstory and seeing how Alpha and Beta met, and maybe seeing how the Whispers were truly formed. That being said, I'm not sure how well a full Whisper bottle episode will go, but with all the story that they might be needing to tell as far as the origin goes, it might be necessary. The show had a steady decline after Season 7, overused the bottle episode idea, but maybe only having one bottle episode sprinkled about here and there won't be too bad, so let's see if they can pull it off properly. Normally a bottle episode would annoy viewers if the previous episode left off on a cliffhanger that won't be answered until at least the episode after the bottle episode, but in this case, we may actually see the Alpha Carol cliffhanger in episode 1002, and we might see it continue on from Alpha's perspective. Now, as far as the images go that show the flashbacks, it looks like Alpha and Lydia are surviving together, possibly using the guts trick because they're just covered in blood, and it looks like they go in to loot a building and they find Beta, and it looks like he has sort of a ski mask on. Even before, the Whispers started and he became Beta and they started using masks, so he was already covering his face beforehand. Minor spoiler warning here, but comic book fans know that this is because Beta was actually a celebrity of sorts pre-apocalypse. He was an athlete, and so he didn't want people to recognize his face post-apocalypse. Anyways, I guess we're going to see the initial Alpha and Beta confrontation as they meet and probably, decide to tag along together. Not too sure if that's just going to happen right away or if they're going to have some sort of actual confrontation or maybe meet up later in the episode, but regardless, we're probably going to see them form the Whispers. And so does this confirm that Alpha and Beta were really the first two Whispers? Because we always, had the idea that there's an alpha to the group, and if the alpha becomes weak, then a new alpha will challenge them, and so it's implication that this alpha that we know wasn't the first alpha, that there have been alphas before this one, and that this alpha just kind of took over. So is that going to happen? Is Alpha and Lydia and Beta going to join the Whispers and sort of take over, or are they actually going to start it themselves? I'm also not too sure how much of the episode is going to be in flashbacks and how much is going to be with the Whispers and showing what they're currently up to, and if we do have a bunch of time seeing what they're currently up to, what are we even going to see? Well, in the premiere episode, our survivors found a few different traces of Whispers being on their side of the border since the snow has melted. First, the kids find a Whisper mask, and then they find a skin left behind at a deserted Whisper camp, eventually leading up to Carol locking eyes with Alpha at the empty Whisper herd quarry at the end of the episode. So, with that being said, even if we do catch up with the Whisperers and we see their side of things as they leave traces of themselves, that's kind of everything we already know, and with episode 2 ending at the same point episode 1 did, but from Alpha's perspective, will that really get us anywhere? I mean, I really hope that they take that moment that the cliffhanger ended off at the last episode, and then they continue it on in the next episode. I bet we'll be watching whatever Alpha's doing in the woods, and then we'll follow her out into the clearing as she looks up at Carol. It is an interesting concept to have a full episode just dedicated to the Whisper Herd, because we've never really had that much time with them, and there's a ton of people excited to see a bunch of beta, but I don't know, we'll have to wait and see how much of this is filler or not, especially if we're just going to sync up the timelines of episode 1 and 2 by the end. So what do you guys think about a Whisper-filled episode? Let me know of any predictions you may have for episode 1002 down below. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, as I'm always thankful for you guys helping me appease the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe and hit the bell notification for more content on the Walking Dead universe in the near future. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
The others have spoken of the life they saw. She unsettles the pack.
There is clarity amid the chaos. Do you doubt me?
Never.